Hello and welcome to my Toxic Claw Spiritborn build. This build is built up for Season 11. This is a PTR version, so keep in mind there can always be some changes to this. But the final state is actually here. And what's this build about? It's using Rushing Claw to rush around. You definitely have to like this skill, otherwise this build isn't made for you. Rushing Claw is a thing for itself. Then you keep trailing your poison behind you and proccing this poison with Noxious Resonance perk from the skill tree. This build performs really well in the end game at this stage of the game. It's, I would say, one step under the actual meta builds like Crushing Fist or especially Evade, or maybe with some payback shenanigans. But if you are really lucky with your Sanctification, I think you can really outperform some of these builds and get a extremely high leaderboard rank. We'll explain it later, and let's dive into what's happening. We use Gorilla and we use Eagle. We use Gorilla for our Hashe Xungi and for unyielding hits. Later more to the equipment. We use Eagle because vulnerable damage is one of the only things that we need, because we do dot damage, and Noxious Resonance does not count as normal hit, so we don't need attack speed, we don't need crit chance, we don't need critical damage, we don't need overpowered. Nothing of this affects our damage, but will damage does. And Eagle's skill has the best skill passives, so yeah. And the skill tree itself, the first two steps are not important. The first important one is the third one. Here we more damage, less damage to vulnerable, less damage from vulnerable, and more damage to vulnerable. And here we are nearly perma unstoppable, so more damage for us. And this one is a little bit trickier. You can manage to have more skill points on this build and can skip some skill points on other skills. And then the third thing you want to improve is this one. It's focal points, because of the lucky hit chance to make enemies vulnerable. This is the first one to have to max if you manage to get more skill points. So yeah. Then this one, really important. You need Ravager on 10. Because you need minimum ferocity of 4, because Rushing Claw keeps sucking for ferocity, but if you have minimum 4, you can't lose it. It keeps sucking, you keep adding, you can perma Rushing Claw without any cooldown modifiers or something. So you have to have this on 10, otherwise the build doesn't perform well. Then Toxic Skin. You want to have this on the maximum amount of ranks you can have. Because Toxic Skin does increase its own dot duration through ranks. And Toxic Skin has the specially damage scaling of let's say there's every fifth Toxic Skin rank does improve the damage double. Let's see here. I remove one, and you will see it's like 170 less damage what get calculated. It's 638. I added. It's 807. But let's see it's more. Remove 2. That's at rank 18. Rank 18 is 615%. I add 1. It's 638, like a normal skill. all other normal skills like scale on 20-30%. But every fifth, bam, 170. So you want this on good amount of ranks. You can have this on with best in slot sanctification on 35 ranks. That's insane. That's 3 other 5 hits. Definitely, I would say this will a lot of damage. But you have to be god tier sanctification. So 20 is our base stat here. Then we took more damage. Then we take toxic skin does critical strikes to enemies. Yes, it's not too important, but it's nice to have. Then we go here. We scale our barrier. That's nice. Then we do concussive stomp. Have more barrier. Have a knockdown for Dominion. And do increase a little bit for blocking. We have 10% block chance here. Important for later for the gearing. We'll explain later why. Damage for centipede and poison. Damage for gorilla skills, but everything is a gorilla skill. Damage for all eagle skills. Everything is an eagle skill. Because you use Able Walker. Rushing Claw just to enable the movement setup. More damage. The Protector, like earlier said, we use Heshik Sungi. So we have a pull in, we don't need Vortex. We use this and keep trying to get it on a relatively low cooldown. Because here you can see it's the normal damage setup. And we get Unstoppable from it too. And Unstoppable does more damage here. So I take this on 8 seconds because we have maybe 1 or 2 seconds downtime on this. And are safe on this time. And then most important, Nuxus Resistance. That will critical strikes proc our poisoning. Rushing Claw always crit through Eagle. And toxic skin does crit too with its special hits. And will triple our damage here and proc to other enemies around. The skin does fairly amount more damage if you group a big chunk of enemies. Yeah. On the Paragon board, on the start we use Managerist because the passive we can manage to get all 4 of the damage boost stuffs. It boosts incarnates. Toxic skin is an incarnate. Yeah. Second one is zapping. We spam Rushing Claw, so that's no problem. Then Kenny for more non-physical damage. Viscous Shield for damage does more damage for you. Barrier does more damage for you. Then Fester, more centipede damage. Convergence, more non-physical damage. Oh, it does physical damage, but we take it for the poison. Bane. For more poison damage, and poison can do double damage. Then Drive, we move all the time through Rushing Claw, so relatively straightforward. And we take Revenge here because our ring has thorns. We don't have to skill thorns, but we do thorns all the time through gorilla attacking. So this is nice too. And yeah, just jump to the gear. We use Harmony of Able Walker. We have the chance to do Harlequin's Crest too, but the 120% damage multiplier and enabling passive skills for Eagle is fairly too much to use the 4 skill ranks on Harlequin's crest. So Eberwalker is superior to Harlequin's. And yeah, the best set there is Dexterity, and then all stats. Don't miss out on movement speed. Keep in mind, we have Brilliance. You want 200% movement speed, otherwise you lose damage. Yeah. Then we have Shroud of False Death. It's just shrouds. Then Heshe Iksungi, presented further. We need it for guerrilla skills or skills for everything. It helps us to get a 10 on Ravager. It helps us to get less cooldown on Protector. It helps us to do a lot more damage on Toxic Skin. And with Concussive Stomp, we knock down, so double effect damage on this too. Yeah. Then we use Temerity for uptime for Viscous Shield and a lot of defense. This one is just defense and a little support for Viscous Shield. And our boots is the most important Toxic Skin. Like I said earlier, movement speed, dexterity, a little bit generation, life. Yeah. The tempering is block chance, and we have the chance to get in free Concussive Stomp. That's very nice because we have a lot cooldown on Concussive Stomp, and so we get some free. We have 10% block chance here and 10 here, so we have 20% block chance. And I felt when I'm playing, we have a lot of Concussive Stomps going through, and knockdowns scales with Dominion, so and isn't crowd control, so we do more to crowd control. That's fairly important, this tempering. Yeah. Then the most important item is Shadowed Foe. We do increase our dot duration on 111%, and we increase our damage over time on 666%. That's really is very important. Then our amulet, it took Brilliance and Nourishment. I think those are the most damage multipliers. Life on hit for more barrier through Temerity, Dex, and Protector cooldown reduction. And Protector ultimate ranks for the tempering, and more damage when you activate your Protector. Then Wound Drinker, this item had more Toxic Skin ranks, more damage to poisoned enemies. Everything other is irrelevant. It's nice to have the Thorns for the Revenge Glyph, and yeah, but you just need star on damage to poison and Toxic Skin. Then we have this ring here, and you have Dex, you have Wool damage, you have Life on Hit, like Life on Hit here. It's good for Temerity, for survivability, and I like to have the Wool damage here, to have the chance to make Wool damage here too, because if you don't have this on 3, or even if you have this on 3, another source to make enemies Wool is just nice to have. And better than just having HP on it or 30 damage. Yeah. Then you take Unyielding Hits, of course. That's an immense damage multiplier. And the Protector cooldown reduction again. And for glyphs, we take +3 skill ranks on everything. You can gamble on Ravager. I mean, I have 10 here without the Vex rune, but there is a shenanigan with Ravager. Does not refresh its minimum ferocity if you change the ranks in game. So if this happens in a pit and you start with 3, you can't refresh it with Vex, because you have to let the buff finish, and then it will refreshes its new skill rank. But it will not refresh if you can't get it out of the skill bar, and you can't do this in the pit. So you have to have this on 10 without Vex. Yes. Yeah. For everyone that's smart and ask me because of it. Yeah. And the other rank, the other glyphs are just reducing our ultimate cooldown, so we have perma protector available. Yeah. And for our skills here, yeah, rushing claw, of course, toxic skin, of course, protector, ravager. You can press ravager as a defensive cooldown because you have double life on hit, and you, if you activate this, you do more hits. So it will heal or do more barrier for you. It's a defensive cooldown. You can press if you group a big pack. Then concussive stomp to enable a knockdown and counterattack like ravager. If you group a big group of elite packs, you press counterattack 1 or 2 times to be safe on the initial big damage hits through the group. And yeah, so those are really usable at this build. And yeah, that's it for the base build. What we want for sanctification is 2 to all skills, 2 to all skills, 2 to all skills, 3 to focus skill, 3 to focus skill. And here you want an aspect, and that's the aspect if you generate your resource, your vigor, you get resolve. If you get this aspect, you can change the revenge glyph to colossal, and you do more damage through this. It does done 10% more damage, and you can skill preservance, and you have like, I guess was 13, 16, and you get a really good amount of damage reduction through it. So this will be a really nice hit if you get this the temper, not the tempering, the aspect on it. Yeah. For here I would say poison damage percent, and Shattered Foe I would also save poison damage percent. I never saw, and I never estimated in 300 weapons I tempered that you can get an aggressively aspect on an item. I never saw this. And I tempered, I sanctified a lot. So yeah, I think it's 3 times poison damage. All others on focus skill and focus skill. All skills. Yeah. And here it's the aspect. That's what I meant earlier. If you got all skills and get this on 35, you have a way more scaling than just the normal evade builds that only stack the lightning damage. But I don't get lucky like this, so let's see. Maybe some other guy get more lucky than I. Yeah, that was the build. Nice fun fact on it. This is relatively nice for sanctification. This is nice for sanctification. This is easy sanctification, and this too. So you have 4 low budget items that you can sanctify a lot. Sure, you can have your 4-star. No, it doesn't matter if you have your 4-star. You just need 1 or 2 stars on one of these stats. But if you get 2 to all stats on this item outmatches everything you would have had with 4 stars. So it doesn't matter. Just get a bunch of rings, drop them in. If you get plus to all ranks, easy win. Those will be cheap. Just go in the auction house, buy 10 or 20. Easy sanctification. Temetary, you didn't. It's not important what aspect you have on greater effects you have on this. Just buy an Temetary, or you find a Temetary, you can sanct it. those 4 items are really, really easy to flash out. And if you are lucky, that's 3 ranks, 2 ranks, 2 ranks. That's 7 ranks to all. And your best in slot aspect. So really, really nice. Okay, that was the build. Thank you for watching.